killing Lurrus here. We have to find an answer for Kroxa then. But now we don't have a blocker. Oh my goodness, we found the answers. Oh my goodness. What? Okay, those are like the best draws possible. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we're going to be playing some Whirlwind of Thought. I've been trying to go through all of the different wedge enchantments here, and really excited about this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. And so we built a deck around that where drawing cards is really good. First off, Emisizzle just seems like so busted with this, because whenever you draw a card, you get to deal 1 damage to any target, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, not just non-creature spells, so this works a little bit better than that, but you then get to draw cards. So we are playing lots of instants and sorceries, as well as a lot of just non-creature stuff. So we have Royal Scions, we have Teferi Time Raveler, all which work with Whirlwind of Thought, as well as just give us kind of early game interaction, as well as the Royal Scions, which works really well with our Dorat the Perfect, which also gets a +1/+1 counter whenever a non-creature spell is cast, and then Improbable Alliance, which gets a lot of good stuff from drawing lots of cards. And the nice thing about Whirlwind of Thought is instead of having to fill our deck with like things that we can draw cards at instant speed, so we can do it on their turn with Improbable Alliance, we can instead just play Ops, Shocks, Justice Strikes, which hits Winota, Questing Beast, like so many things that I actually feel like Justice Strike is kind of making a comeback. It wasn't as useful for a while because people were kind of playing around it, but I feel like the main pieces that you want to hit combo wise or whatever, things that are just harder to deal with, I think it's at least running a couple more of in your deck if you're in these colors. Anyway, so all these things that we can cast at our instant speed, hit their opponent, maybe draw 2 cards, get another flying fairy, whatnot, and just kind of go off with this deck. And so that's the main plan here. 1 Mythos of Valuna, because I mean, I would love to copy Whirlwind of Thought, get multiple card draws every single time, or another Dorat the Perfect. Unfortunately, can't copy the Emisizzle because it is legendary, not quite Spark Double, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so this is the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this one does for me, and yeah, wish me luck. All right, up against Skeet on Potatoes, and we're gonna keep this. 2 really good removal spells against Lurrus. Emisizzle is a little slow. I mean, by really good removal, is anything that doesn't exile stuff really good? I do have some Scorching Dragonfires in here as well. Or maybe I went down Scorching Dragonfires for Justice Strikes, because Justice Strike does hit Winota. It does hit like a lot of really good things that are bad against are good against our deck. If we can get to Emisizzle, as long as we don't have like active treason, we should be able to pull this off. I guess I don't have to play this slow. Let's go ahead and play out Mountain, pass the turn. Shocks themselves. Probably takes like Mythos of Valuna. Maybe Fire Prophecy. Yeah, I was gonna say Mythos of Valuna probably makes the most sense because we can target so many different things. Alright, Triumph, pass the turn. More removal feels great. Kroxa. Alright, alright. Let's see what you got going on here. Justice Strike can actually kill Kroxa in the late game. They're going Grixis. Interesting. I think we dropped the shock. Sorry, resolve. Shock. Yeah, let's go to Fairy, tick up, bounce whatever else they play.
Let's slow this. Let's try this.
Pass the turn. Mire Triton. Alright. Mill a couple things over. Lazav. Alright, so Lazav Crocs is what's going on here. We do have Justice Strike, which is an answer for what they're doing. Interesting. Intriguing. All found tap. We are getting a little bit closer to Emisizzle here. We'll probably just bounce. Like, they get to mill more stuff over, which is what they're trying to do, but we have pretty good answers for what they're going for. Agonizing Remorse can hit our Justice Strike, which is not great, but Double Fire Prophecy does kill Croxa still. Okay. Our Triton, yeah. Do we use this and tuck something so we can try to find a land? Because Emisizzle seems really powerful against this deck. They could just have Heartless Act or something like that. Alright, let's go Fire Prophecy, probably tuck the other Fire Prophecy. Try to hold up the Justice Strike for other stuff. Opt. Trying to dig for land, an untapped land. That's it. That's better. Alright, well, playing Emisizzle, let's hope they don't have removal. If we get to keep Emisizzle for like 2 turns, we should be able to win this game.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
They can Lurion play Lazav. They can play Lazav and just play Croxa. They can also bring Croxa back. No blocks.
Do you want me to phase you out of time?
Mortify. Alright. Yeah, we do get to kill Mire Triton. Shame. Alright, we need to find actual like threats and ways to close out this game, because they are just going to start getting more value from, because Lurrus is just busted. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. A Improbable Alliance. Do we hold this up to build a discard to Croxa? We kind of want to hold on to
I'll protect
things. We can also discard it for Fire Prophecy, so let's just pass the turn. No targets right now to draw cards, that's fine. They get to draw a card. Still, I think that just the fact that we got to go to this point in the game, we should be able to close it out. We do have answers for things they're trying to do. Mire Triton. Okay. Plays out Croxa. Don't want to draw a card now. No, we'll probably just drop that. I also kind of want to hold on to Justice Strike for... Fire Prophecy for next turn so I can at least create a guy. So, pass to my turn. Alright, perfect. Fire Prophecy, hit Mire Triton. Tuck that. Another Justice Strike.
Don't worry.
Pass the turn. I mean, Lurrus brings back Croxa's. It's sad, but we can kill Lurrus right away. We lose our answer for Croxa, though. Like, this really is like our main answer for Titans. Alright, they just play Croxa out. Sweet. I think that's the best thing that could have happened here. Kind of. We are losing one of these guys. Alright, kill a Croxa. So we need to find our other Justice Strike, basically. We can bounce the next Kroxa. Luris, okay. Castle Vantress. We can draw and then discard right away. We can lose to Fairy. I mean, creating fairies is okay here. You can also just start trying to move up the game a bit.
Better hope you delay our quest no further. You will not block our noble
All right, we
path.
finally hit them for the first time in this game. Oh man. See, this is where we need to run into Whirlwind of Thought so we can be casting things, doing things, and drawing enough cards that it's valuable. So like, if we can find Whirlwind of Thought here, we have actually a pretty decent shot of finding enough answers to deal with them. But we need it soon. Their Crocs is going to come down. They can play out Luris, do some things, but like, it's not terrible. The Royal Scion's -8 is also pretty good if we can get a few more cards in hand. Okay, it plays out Luris. Probably just casts a Kroxa. Or plays Lazav here. Lazav, turn it into Kroxa. That's probably the best play. I feel like going for Lazav, at least with the Surveil and stuff, makes more sense, but maybe they wanted the trigger there. Alright, Whirlwind of Thought. I mean, we're getting some of the things we were hoping for.
Embrace your fear and charge.
No attacks past the turn. Whirlwind of Thought is good. We just have to draw anything useful. It plays a Deadweight. Right. Luris and such. I think going face is probably better for them. Yeah. Alright, come on, deck. Give us a finisher. Nimvisit's kind of okay. We have ways to draw cards after it, which means we can deal some damage. Drops it down to 5. Come on. Duck. Give me a shot here. Dorat.
What is my strategy here?
We get to actually draw cards with this. Drawing cards that we can discard is really useful against the Kroxa. Killing Luris here. We have to find an answer for Kroxa then. But we're dead if they have any removal. Actually, we know they have dead weight, so we're already dead if we don't use this. So we get to draw another card as well. But now we don't have a blocker. Oh my goodness, we found the answers. Oh my goodness. What? Okay, those are like the best draws possible. And we're not gonna cast that. They could have another Crocs in hand and we'll have to lose it, but like, we want to be able to, we have to draw cards and then discard, so having things to discard is pretty good for us. Dude, we actually are like coming back in this. This is insane. All right. Yeah, draw a card, discard a card.
I will
Oh
learn
my
what
goodness,
nobody yet
come on
knows.
now. Actually, Castle Embereth with these guys is pretty nice. So Fable Passage, they can still find like Witch's Oven, cats, things like that. Why do you always tap Castle Enchantress? What's the deal with that, huh? Well. Oh, another real Scions. Just to draw a card here. We get to draw 4 next turn with that. Okay, I'll play out Castle Embereth now to get the Scry. And we're safe against a Croxa for a turn. Dude, okay, we're actually coming back in this game. This is good. Oh man, all right. Going for granted. See, this is where Whirlwind of Thought is so strong. It's just like anything we cast, we are getting stuff. So I think it's a really amazing card in the late game. And so I think it is more of like a 2 of that you play. But like playing it on turn 4 doesn't feel great unless you've already Deafening Clarion, cleared the board, and that kind of stuff. So maybe we do need just like more Deafening Clarions, a bit more control in this deck. We led off what with Dorats early on. Dude, this game has been so long, I don't remember. Yeah, what do you find from your sideboard? There's not a lot of things that interacts with this in these colors. They can bounce stuff. That's about it. Finds. Okay, Nicol Bolas. That is a threat. Alright, let's scry. Ooh, Niv-Mizzet. And Opt. Glorious. Let's see if they just have the skip. So Nicol Bolas can kill Niv-Mizzet. So that is something here. Well, let's just draw cards, though.
We have got you outnumbered and outsmarted.
All right, so is that to any target? So I guess we put all of our damage to Fae of Wishes with Niv-Mizzet. Because we just drew 4 cards, and then we get to do 5 at their face. We'll opt for the next turn, get to create some more fairies. We could play Real Scions here, draw a few more cards. I don't think we actually close the game out though, so let's go just Steam Vents here, tapped, swing in, pass the turn, opt on the next turn, get to kill Nicol Bolas. We're close to having Croxa here as well. Ooh. Intriguing. Even also kills the fairies, so we actually so we don't create fairies just yet. So we don't cast anything here. We target them. Yeah, those are even as well. They play Nicol Bolas out. Destroy Royal Scions, I guess. I don't really know what they do. They might have played like Crocs there. I feel like that might have been a decent play. Takes up or kills Royal Scions. I would gladly have him kill Royal Scions. That's totally fine. Crocs is our big threat here. Alright, let's go ahead and opt. Create some fairies. Yeah. That on top. We're just gonna go digging for your answers here. Another Whirlwind of Thought. I mean, we're gonna be able to draw like a ton of cards here. Double Dorat. Yeah, Dorat. Whirlwind of Thought or Royal Scions here? We can only play one now. We have to draw a card. Royal Scions, it's a little bit more damage dealt. And we do have to worry about drawing too many cards, and we can't actually control that very well. So we go with Royal Scions. Dude, we've drawn so many stinking lands now. No more of that, my friend.
Our bond was forged in battle.
And many training sessions.
Let's go ahead and try to find something else here, though. Draw a card.
Let us plan
For the love. Come on. Okay, let's play out Fable Passage so we can get rid of more stuff. Alright. Attack these here. Attack you there. Attack these here. Extinction event is still not great here. We're thinning our deck even more, but I believe that we can close this game out before it's an issue. Croxa, okay. Yeah. Croxa does nothing as long as we have non-land things. We just have so many stinking lands that... Alright, Polo scoops it up. Whew. Oh man, that was such an insane game. Wow. Alright, up against Aaron Wolf, and I think we do probably mulligan this. We can't play anything. Oh man. We do have enough lands in here, right? Okay, we'll keep that. We'll drop Royal Scions. Improbable Alliance is kind of good with Teferi. Maybe just having removal. We're up against Yorion. So Fire Prophecy may not hit as many things. So I think we're going to try for the Improbable Alliance and draw a card, at least get one fairy out there on the board. I feel like that'll establish our board a little bit better. Fire Prophecy could help us draw more cards though too if we need more, but we'll see. All right. Temple of Enlightenment. All right, Steam Vent's tapped. Birth of Malithus. All right, that's fine. I actually really like Mythos to be copying our Improbable Alliance, because getting multiple of these out is actually really, really powerful. That's the main reason for this, is to copy one of these, one of our Dorats, or Whirlwind of Thought. So good stuff, good stuff. All right, go to Fairy. Please don't get countered. Righto.
You show remorse.
All right, bounce that. Create a Furry.
I have a plan.
Draw a card. More lands. Things aren't quite going as planned just yet, but we're gonna get there. Fable Passage. All right, so we're up against Yorion Control, it looks like. More births. And the cool thing too is if we ever do like need lands, Mythos can copy other people's stuff. We can copy Yorion and blink everything again. There's some really cool things you can do with Mythos of Luna. I feel like if you're in blue, it's worth like running one of just in case it does do something amazing for you. Well, we came to play Whirlwind of Thought, so we're gonna do that. Let's go ahead and swing in first. And Whirlwind of Thought. We're going to be drawing cards. Mythos of Luna to copy Whirlwind of Thought or Improbable Alliance. I don't want to draw too many cards. I feel like you can definitely overdraw with Whirlwind of Thought. And we have 4 of them in the deck, so
Hone your prowess.
we don't ever want like 3 or 4 of these down. I mean, we kind of do. Drawing cards is always great, you know? So, all right, let's first off.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Oh, we can't draw extra cards now. That's right. That's really annoying. We could probably do the same thing, put that onto Narset, or even like copy their Fires of Invention. Let's see if we can find just a burn spell. Oh, we can't draw. Dang it. Oops, oops. Keep it on top. Oops. Gosh dang it. I hate Narset so much. Let's go ahead and... What do we do? Do we copy Narset? Copy... Is that better than copying just Fires of Invention, though? Or whatever, like, big thing to come out with? It's not instant speed. And I kind of want the Door Rat for next turn, because that's at least a finisher for what's going on here. So let's just pass the turn. We know they're getting Fires of Invention. We do kind of have an answer for it with these Teferis as well. Like, we can copy it, bounce theirs, play another Teferi. Luca. Oh no. Alright, Agent of Treachery.
I was trying to fight monsters.
Yeah, this one's probably just over here.
Evolution provides a tactical advantage.
And I can cast Offend Instant Speed because of Teferi. That's right. So let's go ahead and copy Agent of Treachery. Okay, why not? Copy. We can still still their Agent of Treachery, so they can't do anything else with it. Let's do that. They've already played 2 spells this turn, so they can't cast anything else. So we get to actually kill their Luca, kill their Narset, and then start doing lots of good things. So, dude, Teferi with Mythos is actually really nice. We could even bounce Whirlwind of Lost Thought back to our hand. Let's first off attack at... Oh, and we have the Fairy, that's right. So swing everything in. That turned out pretty well. I mean, Whirlwind of Thought is kind of sad to lose, but we want... Alright, bounce Fires of Invention, I think. And then bounce Whirlwind of Thought with the Fairy back to our hand. That was a pretty good... Oh, I should be playing Dorat first.
My responsibility.
A bounce Whirlwind of Thought back to our hand. Play out Trail. That was a good turn. All right, that was a pretty sweet turn. I was like about to scoop, but we still got this. We're still in the game. I can do this badness. Okay, plays Fires. They don't have anything for Luca. I mean, they can create an Ardenvale token later, but we can kill it at instant speed, which is kind of nice. Although I think Luca, does it immediately happen? It should cancel if they no longer have a target. And so that should go on the stack to have a target there, and then you should be able to Deafening Clarion, kill it. Although we kill like all of our stuff with Deafening Clarion as well, so we'll see what we want to do. Alright, we did swing in for quite a bit of damage next turn. We get to play Whirlwind of Thought. Ooh, just has a straight up steals Dorat. Intriguing. And we're totally fine resetting here. Ooh, Niv Mizzet. Alright. We don't have the mana to cast it. That is one issue going into white here. We have drawn our only 2 white sources. And so, I mean, it shouldn't happen that often, but it did happen. Alright, how much mana do we have? We still have enough to Deafening Clarion as well. Let's swing in. for 4. Hold up Deafening Clarion, pass the turn. Yeah, so if they go Luca, they could go like Yorion here and try to blink everything, and then we can Deafening Clarion after that. All right, let's see what they try to steal. They might try to steal. If they target Teferi, we have to go off now. Because he'll stop us from being able to cast Evidence and speed. So they get a Teferi, we get to draw some cards. We do lose our Door Rat, unfortunately. If we draw basically any other land except a tapped land. So we only have 2 tapped lands. Otherwise, we get Niv Mizzet and get to go crazy. This way they don't get Yorion into untapping 3 Agent of Treacheries. That would be all sorts of bad. And now most of their Agent Treacheries are gone. They have 1 left with the Luca plan. I mean, like 1 left with Yorion, so they get a couple triggers, but the game's not over here. Okay, they get Luca, they can steal our Whirlwind of Thought. Annoying. Big jerk, I hate you. Yeah.
Surround me.
But this game definitely isn't over. That's every single Agent of Treachery. We know that they got Yorion for next turn, so we just want removal spell. Not that necessarily. We don't really want to play out Niv Mizzet because it just dies. Let's see, 3 red. We already have 3 blue. We have 4 red. I think we still want more red though because we need to be able to cast. Well, that's fine. We'll even it out. We'll probably just draw cards. They'll probably end up stealing our Improbable Alliance. We can hit Luca. I mean, Luca doesn't do anything now, right? Shock could be useful, but I guess we'll dump it. Pray to Furry. Yorion's going to be really annoying. They reset everything. But I think after that, we're probably fine. Like, we can at least come back. If we can keep a Niv Mizzet on the board,
I've done the hero thing before.
I think we'll be fine. This is an intense game. All right, plays out Narset. No more card draw. It's kind of bad with Niv Mizzet. The Shock would feel a lot better now. Yeah, maybe dropping the Whirlwind of Thought would have been better there. They have too many answers. Like, we needed to actually have interaction in our hand. They might be running more Yorions in the deck. I've seen a few different versions of this. Doesn't blink the Agent of Treachery? Huh? I mean, you can at least still... I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm a little bit confused. Brings everything back, yeah. Gets to draw cards. Narset resets.
Monsters are IKORIA's greatest weapons, and I have...
Oh man. Use one on top. We can't draw on this turn. Tapping all of our colored sources. I think we just have to hope they don't have... Actually, if they're playing Yorion in the deck, then they don't get to hit Agent of Treachery every time. So there can't be Yorion in the deck. So our Niv Mizzet will either draw Board Wipe, which in that case, they have like 0 threats left in the game. Except maybe this Castle Ardenvale, which we have the same thing going for us. So I'm not like worried about that. So we actually have ways to close out the game. They could have more ways to blink, maybe. Like, that's the biggest downside of this deck, is that once you get past the 4 Agent of Treacheries, like, they've stolen all the stuff, everything's done now. Like, now what? You know, like, what do they do? I have not actually played this deck personally, because I think it's dumb. But I really don't know what you do after this point. Oh, Shark Typhoon. Okay. Shark Typhoon does make sense. That's a bad thing.
Tactics.
We could probably run a couple of those in this deck too, honestly. But if we get to keep the like Improbable Alliance, we should be fine. We'll block Yorion. They probably have like a shock here. Kill the Mizzet. Just plays it out. And shatters. Okay. We can't draw a card. Hit Narset. Is this any target or just creature?
Focused.
That is one downside of Fire Prophecy. Shark Typhoon. Okay, they do have another finisher. Slow it down a second. We can discard a card. Yay! Alright, Whirlwind of Thought to Fairy. Bounce Shark Typhoon. They create a 2/2. We slow them down for a second. I think this one's over, unfortunately. Yeah, so there's no way that we can actually beat the Shark Typhoon now. And that's a good thing to notice. Maybe we do want to have a Shark Typhoon. Like, if we had our Mythos of Illuna, I think that we could have a shot, but not with that one. Bummer. All right, up against Augustine, we have the Dorat, which is pretty nice here. So yeah, we're gonna keep them. This is a sweet hand. These can get really out of hand for us, and so on turn 3 we can Dorat number 2 opt. Swing in for a bunch and a half. I like swinging in for a bunch and a half. Do you like swinging in for a bunch and a half? It's like my favorite thing to do. Did we win the die roll here too? I think we did. Whoa. Whoa, bro. We're probably going to have a good hand, and opponent's going to scoop it up before we even get to use it or time us out. All right. So yeah, not going to opt on our turn 1. We want to utilize that for later turns, if we can. Down to 19, pass the turn. Charming Prince. Alright, probably up against Winota. That is one of the few decks that doesn't typically play a companion as well. Two on top. Oh, that's brutal to see. Alright, so Dorat. Opt. Get some counters. So that doesn't kill Winota. But I think that we keep it because it's at least interaction. It can kill things that get Winota. They don't have anything that's not a human just yet. Yep, has the mountain. Definitely a Winota deck. Yeah, absolutely. Charming Prince. Alright. I mean, this is manageable so far. We're looking for, like, Justice Strike, so we'll probably play out Mountain. Kill one of these guys to grow a little bit. Or just Whirlwind of Thought. Okay, let's get rid of more lands. So, find some more blue mana, I guess, since we have so much red in our hand. And we only really need one white source on the board at any given time. So, you know, I mean, if they don't start winning like this turn or the next or start stealing our stuff, we can... How much damage do we do? We do 8 damage next turn. Alright, so Fairy comes down, wins our day. Boo.
You'll thank me later. I've got time.
That's not terrible, though. Again, they don't have any non-human stuffs. Okay, so... Mountain, Dorat, Royal Sands, draw 2. We can even pump this swing in for more. Yeah. Or draw 1. Mid-visit for next turn. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, this is feeling great.
Puzzle on our quest.
Swinging for 6, 7, 8. Not quite lethal. Is it better to try to draw a card here? We actually like everything in hand. We could maybe drop like Fire Prophecy, but we can do that next turn as well. So let's just give it Trample, first strike. Swing you at Teferi, swing here.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
And I don't think Winota can come down and do anything this turn, so we should have the game. Swings in with Charming Prince. Down to 10. Yeah. Alright, Teferi to give protection from answers. I would play Niv Mizzet normally, but I think Teferi is perfect for just like stopping as much stuff. I mean, we still have lethal. They have to remove this one as well. Justice Strike? Okay, that's the same. Good game, sir. I mean, we keep having pretty good hands. We just have not had things go quite our way. Keep this. I also don't think I've won a die roll yet. Which, I mean, that can affect a couple things. I mean, Gutter Bones basically already does some damage to us. But meh. Improbable Alliance is actually really good against the Luris deck, so we have a really good hand. We have a couple ways to remove early game creatures. Maybe I should have held up Shock for Priest of the Forgotten Gods. That's just like the most value overall, but we can at least bounce it, slow him down. Cauldron Familiar. Please be stuck on lands. Alrighty. Good on ya, mate. And we're gonna shock ourselves for this. Improbable Alliance. Isn't that like what everything in IKORIA is about? Is all the improbable alliances that we've got? So, dude, I'm like on theme here. Like way on theme. I hate to be that guy, but should I say your go? Oh man. Yeah, cat oven. It's a happening. We can Teferi and bounce the Witch's Oven. It kind of helps a little bit. Technically, then they can just bring back cat. Let's see what they go for here. Brings back Gutter Bones. We do want to be able to draw a card. And that does create a blocker for us. I could Justice Strike and opt as well. Hold it up. I mean, that will keep Teferi on board. We can go digging for like Deafening Clarions. We could bounce Witch's Oven to kind of slow down a bit, but it doesn't really slow down because they do it this turn. 1 mana is not a big deal for them. Being able to create lots of blockers can be a pretty big deal, and if we can hold up Justice Strike for another turn. So I do think we just go for the opt here. Try to find better cards. Yeah, that wouldn't have helped at all to draw, so another Improbable Alliance isn't terrible. Alright, pass the turn. Good blocker for Gutter Bones. We're down to 13. I wonder if we want to be playing some more ways to gain life. Like, I was wondering if like 2 copies of Light of Hope might be useful here, just for the occasional life gain, draw us cards while we're doing it if we have Whirlwind of Thought, as well as answers for like Fires of Invention and whatnot. Could be useful. Titan's Nest, Fires of Invention, there's a few things that are good right now. We take 3 if we drop this land. Ugh, man, our life total is going pretty low. Improbable Alliance helps us actually stay in the game a bit more, but we're gonna lose to the direct damage, I think, first. Claim the Firstborn. Yeah, we can't take too much more. So we'll just strike here. If they sack it, that means that we get our fairy back. They also are sacking here instead of sacking their Cauldron Familiar. So we end up saving a little bit more life overall. I can even bounce the food token here.
Sorry I'm late.
Sure.
Might be a bad idea.
Actually, that kind of works out. I really need this to be blue mana, though. So I could shock the Cauldron Familiar, get rid of it for 0 turns because of Luris. I could hold up shock for Luris. We'll just grab an island. Pass the turn. We can shock them on the next turn just fine if they do play out Luris. More Claim the Firstborns get a little bit annoying here, but we at least slowed the game down enough that we're not going to be dying quickly. Unless they have land, then Croxa comes down and we're sad again. I mean, we'll block. They probably sack. I mean, that's fine. Luris and replay Cauldron Familiar. Yeah. I mean, we kind of wanted to draw out the Luris, so that's kind of fine. Croxa now. Sack it, bring back Cauldron Familiar. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Ooh, man, this deck is so good. Take 3 or lose to Fairy. I guess we're at a place where we kind of have to take the 3. Whirlwind of Thought. Well, shock Luris. Tick up to
Don't
Fairy.
worry, I got this. Right on schedule.
I think the thing I'm noticing with Whirlwind of Thought is that I'm not ever ahead enough to feel like I can actually be playing it out. Can't target one of these because the cat just sacks it in response. They outland. They almost have enough to bring back Croxa. So I feel like this is almost like an enchantment that you want to be playing on turn 6. So maybe playing 4 copies of it isn't quite the right way to go here. Swings in. We will absolutely block you. Down to 4. Cauldron Familiar down to... Okay. Alright, so we need to find actual threats to try to stay in the game. Find a Deafening Clarion so we can gain life. Maybe we do just need more ways of actually getting life with this deck. Because I feel like we start turning a corner right when we're at like 5 life, and they're gonna finish us before we can do much of anything. Take 3, 4 next turn. Croxa comes back, probably 2. So we're almost dead. Alright, I mean, we're gonna play on our land. We're gonna play this one all the way out. Yeah, this has been... We've had some really brutal games where I feel like our hands are good. We're doing some good stuff. They're just, like, our opponents are just doing much better things, or they're playing fast enough, and we can't seem to win a die roll. Yeah, down to 3 and then 4, so yeah, good game. Oh, Balderdash. All right, so there you guys have it with Jeskai Whirlwind of Thought, and I think that maybe a couple more Deafening Clarions would be nice. I was realizing we're needing them a few more times. Maybe like Light of Hope. I keep going back with whether or not that card is worth playing. But Light of Hope to be able to deal with Fires of Invention, be able to gain us some life against the Lurrus decks, be able to put counters onto our Dorats, 2 counters onto it, might just be enough to be worthwhile. Even like giving a counter onto Emisizzle to be able to dodge the Heartless Act or something like that. There's a lot of good things that you can do with this deck, and overall I think the deck is really powerful. I think you drop down to 2 copies of Whirlwind of Thought though, maybe just a little bit more interaction if you're gonna play it yourself. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.